think I gotta take this. Hey, Gord. Not a great time.
Hey, I just wanted to take a minute to connect with you before your interview today, and just to say that on behalf of myself and Stantec, congratulations on receiving the 2020 ACEC-BC Meritorious Achievement Award. You know, Steve, one thing that was evident to me from when we first met almost 15 years ago was your clear passion for continuous improvement, both within Stantec and the industry at large. And from the Stantec perspective, you know, your commitment to improving our practice and our project management initiatives has made a huge contribution to making us a better company. You know, that culminated, of course, several years ago with your appointment to our C-suite as our Chief Practice and Project Officer. And, you know, on behalf of your Stantec colleagues and I, we couldn't be more supportive of you receiving this award. So before I let you get back to your interview today, I just wanted to again say thank you for all that you've done. And on behalf of Stantec, congratulations on this well-earned award.
Steve Fleck is a great choice for the ACEC-BC Meritorious Achievement Award. I have known and worked with Steve for over 20 years on both major infrastructure projects in British Columbia, as well as on the boards of ACEC-BC, ACEC Canada, and most importantly, as a coach for our eldest girls soccer team. Steve is dedicated to making a difference in everything he does. Steve, congratulations on being the most recent recipient of the ACEC-BC Meritorious Achievement Award. Well done.
He's been a great colleague and competitor, and I've certainly enjoyed working with Alan over the years. I've taken an interest my entire career in what we now know as P3 design build projects. Some people call them alternate project delivery. And as that project delivery type became really popular here in BC in the early 2000s, both Alan and I were instrumental in driving our companies into that business. Together we worked on projects like the Golden Ears Bridge, South Fraser Perimeter Road. These were really important projects for the province of British Columbia, but they were just terrific, exciting opportunities for us to work on, and in a number of cases, great opportunities to introduce some really strong up-and-coming young employees into projects who are now doing much greater things.
I can't imagine a more deserving recipient than Steve, given his extensive contributions to Stantec, engineering practice, the industry, and the community. Steve has embraced and led our most challenging, complex civil engineering projects in BC, such as the South Fraser Perimeter Road project or the Seymour Capilano filtration plant. I've always enjoyed Steve's energy and curiosity for trying to figure out a better way of achieving something complex, and his openness to considering the ideas of others. Steve also has a unique skill of turning what could be a 45-minute meeting into a full 60-minute meeting.
Peter Salisbury and I sat down 5 or 6 years ago and realized that we needed to bring some order to the multiple processes that we had in place, but not just processes, but everything that touched what we called project manager. Our PM ecosystem is really evolutionary. It's the natural evolution of Stantec from, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 employees that we were in 2004, 2005 to the 22,000 that we are now.
I've known Steve for well over 20 years. Had the privilege of being his colleague in the late 90s and early 2000s. H.A. Simons, later became AMEC. We were together during those quite tumultuous years when the industry changed quite fundamentally in BC. P3s became the dominant method of delivery of major projects, and Steve had a big role in rolling out successful P3s, and he's a real authority in the industry on alternative delivery. He's taken project management training, he's given training, he's been a mentor, he's given back to the community by being on a hospital board. He spent many years supporting ACEC in leadership roles as a mentor to many professionals in the industry.
We have huge respect for each other. We've both been very ambitious and driven our careers, in our own places. Buckland and Taylor which was the company that Steve ran at the time. was a major subconsultant to us on South Fraser Perimeter Road. And I think both Stantec and Buckland and Taylor would say that that project went really, really well.
I first met Steve at Stantec on the South Fraser Perimeter Road project. And it was your typical tension-filled coming together of an engineer and an environmental professional. So lots of headbutting, as you can imagine. But in no time at all, it was the start of an incredible working relationship and friendship. Because Steve is a total professional whose passion for exceptional project delivery is contagious. Steve is a big contributor to my successful career journey. He's been a great mentor and tormentor when he's needed to be. But his commitment and service to our industry and BC's overall business community is what really has inspired me to engage with organizations like ACEC-BC. Steve has also been the biggest advocate and sponsor for women at Stantec. He truly understands the importance of not just talking to you as a coach and a mentor, but also talking about you as a sponsor.
You know, Asifa is now our Chief Human Resources Officer. She's an incredibly capable and skilled professional on her own, and she's gotten there on her own. When you can find young and keen and capable people and provide them with some guidance and aim them in the right direction, the outcome is, at least in my experience, almost always great. So it brings me great pride to see, you know, what capability we're seeing out of our Canadian engineers when we give them the chance. One of the very little known aspects of Canadian industry is that Canada has for many years exported engineering services, and Canadian engineers operate around the world and are known for their expertise in the forest industry, the pulp and paper industry, the mining industry, now in the P3 and infrastructure industry, and that's not really well understood. I mean, we are a massive exporter of services for British Columbia. So Ride to Survive is a small group, and by small I mean about 125 people that have, over the last 15 years, raised money for the Canadian Cancer Society. We're really a fundraising club with a cycling problem. I've fundraised $70,000 personally. And as a group, we've, over 15 years, fundraised between about 125 people, about $7 million.
I think previously the board had, certainly we did annual meetings with leaders in government and pushing the agenda of engineers and what we felt needed some attention from legislation, such as qualifications-based selection, immigration to support growth, to the ability to bring engineers in from outside of the country to move these major projects forward, things like that. Steve really led the charge of bringing on a government relations consultant to help move that forward. And that went on for a few years, and then after that, the board itself became more active in pushing that agenda. And I think that was a key moment where Steve recognized a need and an opening to make that happen, and he did. You know, he has a real presence about him, not afraid to take on a challenge, incredibly forward-thinking. He looks ahead at what's happening and tries to challenge what it is and make sure that the industry is ready and on top of it.
So I set out in my year as chair to be completely irresponsible, ran the biggest deficit in ACEC history, but we went out and recruited a new president and CEO. And that was really critical for me because the core reason for being for ACEC is to be an advocate for our businesses and for all of the people that work in our businesses, and you know, to make sure that our businesses are healthy and that we are able to continue to create and keep these really important, you know, and high quality jobs, you know, in Vancouver, in British Columbia. You know, the year I was chair was also the year that South Fraser Perimeter Road was nominated for an award. And so I was up on stage presenting the awards, and I was, because I wasn't part of the judging panel, even though I was chair of the organization, I did not know who had won. So I think I am the only chair that has been able to rip open an envelope and award his own team with an award of excellence during the gala. And that still lives in my memories as one of my best memories. It was, when I was told, it was totally unexpected. It was a huge surprise, a huge honor, and you know, I don't feel that I'm deserving of it, but it sure is nice that others feel that way.